Well, I just realized it wasn't overtime. It was actually a lot shorter time period than I thought. I should have paid attention to the clock. But again, this is hypothetical. I was talking about communications and the tie between communication and at the end there I was talking about evil, good and evil. This also came to my mind in things of recent interchanges I've had with Wayman 29, and he's talked about this attempt that he wants to make in certain ways to encourage a dialogue that's more focused on sharing and coming to understandings rather than proving and trying to persuade and certainly there's a place for that, but I thought about just the sheer concept of communication within the Bible and the references to those that are ever learning, but without being able to come to knowledge of the truth. Finding this balance. There's adversarial communications, and generally, for the most part, they do seem to kind of be counterproductive, more kind of time wasters. You can get it going the other way too. But I've just really been thinking a lot about what we communicate, why we communicate, and what it will, what's the end of our communications with each other. And this draws me into thinking also too about the concept of symbols and the need for types and analogies, but then at the same time with all of this, the need to keep everything in context and the relative nature of communication. It's kind of interesting to see the interplay between growth, between trying to arrive at a point where we know something, where we understand where we are and where we've come to a knowledge, an understanding, harmony with someone or something, and then also keeping, obtaining that ultimate means of communication is so hard to do because all of our communications seem so tied to context. Context-related symbols, and there's always the potential to read too much into something, or to not read the proper thing for the context into something, and so many divisions. And I was looking at just conflicts that I've had with coworkers, and it's all these. Everything we do communicates something, and everything. Just all of our actions. You think about it, ultimately, every moment of the day we spend doing something or not doing something, we're leaving marks of it all over the place. Our bodies are ultimately recording. If any of you have looked at concepts like epigenetics, and we're communicating with whatever posterity we may have, or in all of the trails we're leaving behind and the decisions we make. It's kind of amazing to see all of the information that we're putting out, that we're receiving, but just the interaction between us, between the universe, between God, and how this is all tied to the idea of purpose and existence, good and evil. And it's kind of interesting to live in a day like this when we have such an increased capacity on many levels to communicate, but at the same time the capacity to alienate to such a high degree, to the capacity to bend and twist such incredible powers as what we have with the internet, and to use them to isolate people. Look at addictions to pornography and things that ultimately isolate people, and not just pornography, but you get into all of the sectarian infighting, the bickering, fighting back and forth, and even the infighting among everybody. And it's kind of amazing to see the double-edged sword, that every time we have an increase in our capacity to interchange, we have an increase in our capacity to confound. But anyway, I am thinking that I'm past time again, so end. Take care.